Indigenous Psychology in Africa by Elisa Estrada, Elaine Olarte, and Stella Jubil. Overview of African American Personal Presentation. This topic is about how African American women view themselves and others when it comes to their hair. African American women chose to wear their hair in a variety of styles including wigs and dreads, whether chemically processed or non-chemically processed. Non-chemically processed are often considered too as natural hair. Natural hair is any hair that has not been chemically or thermally treated. Next is hair alteration practices. At a very young age, African American children have their hair put in braids and knots, and their parents tend to alter their children's hair with chemical or heat treatments to improve the texture. According to Nelson 2013, societal standards of beauty place an unyielding amount of pressure on average female. Kasi yung beauty standards ay nagbabago each era, specifically when it comes to overall physical appearance such as the ideal waist, thighs, breast, and hair type and color. Hair as a universal symbol. According to Thompson 2009, all women can relate to the trials dealing with hair, regardless of race and ethnicity. In Africa, they wear certain hairstyles based on their traits to symbolize their rank and status in culture. Slavery to the Africans. Before, when Africans arrived in Europe, it is a requirement to get their head shaved as a symbol of removal of their culture, and they should wear rags to hide their undone hair or iron their hair to be acceptable by white standards and to avoid offending white people. When slavery ended, it still has effects when it comes to conforming to societal beauty standards in a way that African has to have a straight hair and a lighter skin complexion to be treated well. And when their skin is darker and their hair is kinky, they are considered less attractive and treated more negatively. Natural hairstyles of Africans. Yung preferred hairstyles nila ay dreadlocks, wigs, or they add additional hair pieces. And African hairs are naturally thicker, curlier, and frizzier than white or Asian hair. That's why their hair requires a different care and grooming. Natural free hair was coined as the afro in the 1960s and 1970s, and it was the symbolic representation of political change, especially black self-love, intellectual historical knowledge, and black power.
Basic concepts of their indigenous psychology. In Africa, the wearing of one's hair in certain styles are indicative of these traits, symbolizing rank and status in culture. In an effort to repress the beauty of black hair, Europeans' features were established as the accepted standard of beauty. Europeans would shave the head of Africans upon arriving to the America to symbolize their removal from their culture. This is from Johnson and Bankhead 2014. For young African American women, hair is laden with messages and had the power to dictate self-esteem and even the type of treatment received from others. This is from Billinger 2017. Hair is often seen as an announcement to the world of how an individual identifies him or herself. This hairstyle represented political changes that were not prominent before the 1960s. This change created a significant shift in socio-cultural and socio-political viewpoints, and this is also from Johnson and Bankhead 2014.
Natural free hair was described as afro in the 1960s to 1970s and a representation of historical knowledge, political changes, black power, and black self-love. The study showed how beauty of their hair is internalized by African American women by exploring the locus of control and self-esteem. African American women who started to reject other beauty standards and started to accept their natural and unaltered hair resulted in boosting their self confidence. The results of this study imply that African American women who wear their hair in a natural state may be less inclined to worry about how others perceive and compare them with European standards of beauty. An increase in education and knowledge of hair for the African American woman is increasing, and more women are joining the movement to provide more transparent and empathic educational and psychological interventions and supports, reducing instances of negative self perception because of the beauty standards. This just shows the importance of self love, self care, and personal appreciation of natural and unaltered state of hair.